That chooses to speak, please sign up. It's there's the yellow tablet at the door. We will recognize you for a 3-minute speech. If you say what you want, please, anyone who wants to speak, they're welcome to do it. We have this room for 1 hour. So let's start moving it through and we'll get on with the business. I want to approve the last board of directors meetings.
I'll move 7 minutes.
Okay. The agreement itself is a contingent, we know that. And it's contingent on approval of the amendment by 2/3 of the homeowners. The board will simply execute this agreement that has already been signed by Mr. Nash, and the agreement will become effective if and when the 2/3 of the owners approve the amendment, and the amendment is recorded in the public records. Until then, it is of no effect. It's all contingent on 2/3 of the homeowners' approval of the amendment. So I will execute the agreement. Where is that?
I move we accept the agreement.
Okay.
Excuse me, do you guys have any discussions regarding
You will all be given 3 minutes to speak, yes.
after the amendment's been
This
signed?
is a board meeting, this is not a homeowners.
So once you get done with it?
Yes. Is everybody clear on what we're doing right this minute? Is anybody not clear? Mr. Nash has signed the agreement. We are signing the agreement. Paragraph 4 of the agreement says, unless the amendment passes, this agreement has no legal standing. We're doing this because he gave us a 1 July deadline. We're trying to show our good faith. There is no deadline for getting signatures. We're trying to avoid having the golf course closed. When we were in negotiations with him, one of the things in the agreement said, if we do not pass this, the golf course may close. When we sent our version over for him to chop, he came back and changed May to will close. So we don't want him to close the golf course on 1 May. While the majority of the homeowners are still deciding what they want to do. Okay? You'll get your 3 minutes when the time comes. No, I didn't. I said, do you understand? Do you understand what is happening at the table? Okay? Just so you understand, for me personally, this has been a very difficult process. I think I'm an honorable and ethical man. I've been called things on that blog that I find absolutely personal. And we don't do this for pay. And it has taken literally hundreds of hours to do what we're doing. Okay? The majority of the community said we think the golf course should stay open. So we're trying to do what the majority of the community has said. There are two sides to this story. And let me tell you, there's a bad side to the story. There's some people that think passes, may not be able to stay in our community. Their income is that low. So there are some bad sides to this thing as well as keeping the golf course open, okay?
I do. Reminder,
We're going to go ahead and take speakers for 3 minutes. I want to remind you that you will be stopped at the end of 3 minutes. Who is the first person?
First person is Nash Patel. I'd like to add too that this should be a civil conversation, civil anything. And I recommend we stop it if it gets to be or anybody says anything derogatory towards anybody on either side. Thank you.
Thank you. One question I have is, are we allowed to yield our time to other homeowners if in the event that they don't want to talk?
That's not part of the Florida statute. Is.
Okay, that's not part of Florida statutes. Okay. My question would be a couple of things, and I was for the raise from the beginning until I heard some of the things that homeowners association board of directors were doing that I felt as a business owner wasn't in the right interest for the homeowners. Your fiduciary responsibility should be the homeowners, not Neil Nash, not the golf course. So what you're doing today, in my experience, 30 years in business, is the worst thing that you can do as a business owner. You don't sign an agreement that's open-ended, not knowing whether or not you're going to have to vote. There's no purpose to it. You're buying into something that you don't know what's going to happen. So right now what you're doing is you're looking out for the interest of the golf course but not the homeowners. Second of all, there's a lot of open-ended questions that have been asked on that blog, as well as from people in this room. They haven't been answered. There's not an outside company that's doing any due diligence. There's not a third party that's doing any auditing. So for me, it's a real huge concern. So I believe what we're here today saying is that you guys, prime responsibility should be to us. And when you use the word majority, does the majority know the business language that's in that contract? I'll answer that question for you if you don't know. They don't. You have not done a full disclosure on the documents that have been released. You guys have not done a full disclosure on the actual agreement that's in place. Any questions, any comments?
Well, the first thing I would say, we did pay a private CPA representing the board to go audit the books. So the books have been audited by an independent third party. And we were very careful to pick somebody that had never worked with Mr. Nash or any of the companies, other companies that he owns.
That's going back to his business and how he's ran his business.
Well, our books are audited annually, so.
Your homeowners books are audited, but my question is that you guys are now supporting a business. You're asking us to support a business as a part of our homeowners association agreement. So what I'm saying is that while you've done due diligence on the homeowners, and you may have done due diligence on his business, I don't believe anybody wants to get into a homeowners association or buy a home to be a part of a golf course and be involved in that business. And my biggest concern today is that I'm really surprised to see this. And I know you guys are talented, it's no disrespect for none of you sitting there, you do a lot of hard work, you put in a lot of community hours, and I know it's volunteer, I do a lot of volunteer work, but I would never sign off on anything that's not a guarantee. Today you're leaving this open-ended, you're leaving the homeowners to feud. You're creating something that does not, if we don't have the votes, let it be, let's see what happens, let's get on the other side of the bridge. But don't leave it open-ended. For you guys to sign this, the 5 of you, it's just wrong. The decision's already been made. But the end date is July 1st, so you're trying to once again justify. You've got majority, you don't have the number of votes that it takes in order to
Your 3
get
minutes is up, sir.
Let me just offer you one other additional comment. If we had contacted every homeowner and had a yes or no from every homeowner, I would agree with what you said 100%. We have approximately 100 homeowners who have not given us a decision, one way or the other. And we are in the process of contacting them individually at this point.
Wouldn't a no answer, or wouldn't a answer that's not in place mean an automatic no?
No, we don't.
But
But how do you know that it's undecided, that they are undecided?
Well, for example, we're running about 70% of those who have given us answers approving the issue. 70% of 100 would be a 70, which would put us way over the number we need.
Okay, we need to do the next person. Who's the next person?